Hi, I added a splash screen and some UI tweaks to the Bhagavad Gita web tool or web interface. So here's what it looked like before. If you go to the last video, this is what we ended with, and I'll show you. So when you visit the page, you get greeted with that, and then there are a few UI tweaks. So the coloring of the website made it a little darker thanks to the splash screen tutorial I followed. Defined Bhagavad Gita for anyone who doesn't know or whatever. I don't know, thought it was cool. Made Bhagavad Gita in italics. Linked the tutorial here. Made the text larger, pretty much, so that I found on mobile it was it wasn't hard to use this tool. It was just everything was small. So figured if we could make everything bigger, users wouldn't need to zoom in as much, hopefully. And then I linked the source code down here. So yeah, everything is still the same. You can still search stuff. You can get your random verse. I made this italic too. Yeah. Browser. I really like I like that the verse is huge or larger, because I want that to really take the centerpiece of this tool. I imagine eventually it would be nice if all this stuff up here could be like a toolbar at the top that can be hidden or shown, and we could have navigation to just browse through the verses. That was a suggestion from my buddy. So the suggestion was, instead of having to click through this menu, maybe put like a right arrow, so I could just tap on the right arrow to go to verse 14, then verse 15, 16, 17, 18, and then eventually chapter 8, verse 1, etc. So I really like the idea of a focus mode where it's just, would be something like this. Complete with the audio, maybe add CSS to the audio so it doesn't look like this floating cloud. Maybe something more that would blend in better. But yeah, so I really like the current theme because I want this tool to feel emotionless. This isn't something, I don't want someone to use this and the tool kind of creates a kind of feeling or imposes itself or suggests anything in any way or is provocative. I just want it to be a reference. So yeah, it's gonna look boring, it's gonna look motionless, it's gonna look like very missable, if that makes sense. Not exciting, at least to start. Maybe later on there will be a suggestion, or I'll get an idea, or I'll learn something and I'll be like, oh, I know a better way of designing this website to make it more usable or something. I don't know. I've shown a few people this, but I actually haven't like shared it. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So that's all here, and I can demonstrate mobile for the time being. So again, user, let's say this is a Pixel 5, or yeah, we'll just say responsive. Suppose it's a phone, user visits the page, you get hit with the splash screen, the Om. I'm biased towards it, that's why I picked that symbol, as opposed to a picture of Krishna or whatever. Again, just keeping it treating it like a reference rather than like something human, if that makes sense. Just a tool, but who knows, I'm sure different people have different relationships with this. But yeah, so here we see how this looks on mobile, and for demonstration, for comparison, this is what it used to look like before my change. Okay, yeah, so I did push out a couple updates, so that's why it has declined. But pretty much this small thing, and you have to like zoom in, whereas now from the get-go it appears like this. So we can do some cool thing here. So on the left is how it looked without being mobile friendly, and on the right is how I imagine it to be a little more mobile friendly. I'm not using any libraries, CSS libraries or anything, so if we did like Bootstrap or whatever, we could get a mobile friendliness pretty quick. This is just some homemade from scratch stuff with ChatGPT hope, because really I'm not that concerned about that stuff at this point in time. I would just rather make it a little presentable so I can show it to people and get feedback that's, I don't know, more somewhat meaningful, but who knows. Yeah, so the source code is there if you wanted to take a look or make a pull request or something, or open an issue. And cool, yeah, I'll probably post another update at some point. Subscribe, like, comment your favorite verse. Thanks for watching.